It's you liberals who have lifted them up, Howard.
Paul, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous.
No, Howard, you liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs.
Paul, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up.
That makes it even worse.
No, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him. He feels compelled to try to act like us. He loses his identity and his racial anger, if he has any. He becomes alien to his brothers. They realize he sold them out and they grow to hate him. He becomes worthless to them and safe for us. No, thank you. In fact, in his love for the creature comforts, except for his color, he's become one of us.
Today we're going to be exposing the Boule Society, better known as the Gatekeepers, and their allegiance to the colonialist system and being a hindrance in the progress of indigenous black people. Let's examine this. The Boule is a black Greek secret society based on another secret society founded at Yale. It's called the Skull and Bones. The Boule primary founder was Dr. Henry Menton, along with Doctors Eugene T. Henston, Edwin Clarence Howard, Eldrion Bashir Jackson, Robert Jones of Boule, and Richard John Warwick of Philadelphia. The founding member of the New York City chapter, W.E.B. Du Bois, said that the Boule was created to keep the black professionals away from the ranks of Marcus Garvey. Now, one thing that needs to be pointed out is the time period. At the founding of the Boule, it was also the time period of Marcus Garvey Back to Africa movement. It was reaching over 1 million plus people without TV or radio. As Du Bois emphasized and our late great Coakley stated, the importance to steal the black professional away from Garvey, because an Afrocentric organization that articulated and captivated the black professional would not give this establishment no safe haven in the black community. So the Boule remaking of a house Negro was necessary to build a group of Negroes who had an investment in protecting this caste system produced by colonialists that stole this land. This was post-Reconstruction, taking away the articulate Negro, now desiring to replace them with organized institutions to keep them away from self-improvement. So we find in the same period as the founding of the Boule was the founding of the 4 black male fraternities. Alpha Phi Alpha, Kappa Alpha Psi, Omega Psi Phi, Phi Beta Sigma. Those are the black male fraternities. Now for the 4 black female sororities. Alpha Kappa Alpha, Delta Sigma Theta, Zeta Phi Beta, Sigma Gamma Rho. These are college-based fraternities and sororities. We also find the founding of the NAACP and the Urban League. And they fall under the mother and father of the Greek fraternities, which are Prince Hall Masons and Eastern Stars. Du Bois was one of the strongest opponents of Garvey and was an instrumental tool in stopping one of the strongest grassroots movement in this century. What was Garvey's plan? His plan was to take as many Africans from the Americas and start a new settlement in the nation of Liberia, and then help their new nation produce and control their own rubber crops and other industries and natural resources. Garvey said, and I quote, "If the oil of Africa is good for the Rockefeller interests, if iron is good for Carnegie Trust, then these minerals are good for us. Why should we allow Wall Street and the capitalist groups of America and other countries exploit our country when they refuse us a fair chance in the country of our adoption? Why should not Africa give countries of our adoption? Why should not Africa give to the world its black Rockefeller, Rothschilds, and Henry Ford? This would have meant no Goodyear or U.S. Steel as you know it today, because it would have set a precedence that would have made all Africans aware of their land and mineral wealth. This would have smashed the financial arm of the colonial supremacy. Du Bois, along with Alan Locke, the first black Cecil Rhodes scholar, publicly defiled Garvey by calling him a gorilla, dark, and a dumb A any chance they got. Locke was quoted as saying, "We hope that the colonialist man delivers because we crushed a great black thing. But we know he will deliver, or our people will attack and plague us forevermore." These two house Negroes made a bet that the colonialists would come out on top and give a certain percentage of these greedy Negroes, namely the Boule members, the wealth they stole from Africa. Let that take residency in your cerebral cortex. Are HBCUs founded by indigenous black people, or the misnomer black? Some critics noted that many HBCUs, particularly those existing in the years immediately following the Civil War, were founded by whites, many of them whom have negative preconceptions of the social, cultural, and intellectual capabilities of black people. According to www.britannica.com, historically black colleges and universities. Now we're going to listen to a lecture from the late, great Steve Coakley about the Boule Society. Let's examine this.